James, Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Sam. I know injuries are part of every season, but is it kind of a disappointment for you guys that I think other than maybe the second game of the season, you never had the lineup you guys anticipated? I know you were one of the 5 guys in COVID protocol the first week of the season. By the time you got back, Tyler Bertuzzi was done from the lineup, so that you never really had the full lineup that was anticipated.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just part of it. I think especially in a year like this, I think we all came into it kind of knowing that it was a possibility that we're gonna be without guys at different times. For the guys that have played every game this year, it's pretty impressive to kind of stay out of the fire, so to speak. Obviously with COVID and all that comes with that, and then the amount of games we play in such a short amount of time. You knew it was a possibility. Obviously, you'd like to be as healthy as possible, but I think for the most part, guys have done a good job of trying to step up in other players' absence. And I think it's cliche, but it's an opportunity for other guys to get more opportunity, and just got to try and run with it and do the best you can.
And last thing for me personally, I mean, are you kind of hoping to be able to stick around here in Detroit, or what are your plans?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll see kind of what happens here after the season, but I really enjoyed here. I feel like I've my responsibilities grown over my time here. I really like my role, and I think that we're closer than I think a lot of people would project. Like you alluded to a lot of the injuries this year, and I think the division we're in, everything, we have an opportunity to turn things around quicker than I think a lot of people expect, and I'd like to be a part of it. So we got some games left here, and I'm just gonna do my best to help the Wings and get as many wins as we can down the stretch here, and just keep on building.
Thanks, Sam. And in talking to Sean Hartkoff, it amuses him to no end that you are now a penalty killer.
Yeah, no, I've had some penalty killing early on in my career, but it's never really been a huge part of my responsibility, but it's something I really enjoy. I think I've grown in that area and certainly improved, and our penalty kill has been a lot better here the last little bit. I take a lot of pride in that responsibility, and it's just another area of your game that you want to continue to build. I think you have to be able to adapt in this league if you want to play a long time, and I'm just trying to figure out different ways and help the team win. So I think that's the main thing.
Thank you.
Next question from Max Boltman with The Athletic.
Hey, Sam. Obviously, a lot of young guys throughout the lineup right now, especially Joe making his debut last night. What do you think are the hardest things for those guys or the most important things for those guys to take away through this stretch going into the future?
I think just continue to build confidence at this level. I mean, it's the best league in the world, and it really humbles you at times. But I thought Joe specifically, he came in last night, did a really good job, created some chances for us, was really solid defensively. I really enjoyed playing with him. He's predictable and in good positions, and he can create offense. So I think for all those guys, it's just a matter of continuing to build their game. Like I said, I think you can create a lot of confidence going into next year by making sure that you're doing the right things to grow as a player and help the team win. And I think our young guys have done a really good job of that.
You mentioned him being solid defensively, and that seems like it's been kind of a big emphasis team-wide this year. And I guess I kind of think of players in his situation as maybe is that more difficult in that time? I think you probably want to prove yourself a lot in your first few games and all that stuff.
Well, for sure. I mean, in order to win this league, you have to be solid defensively. Part of being a two-way player is creating offense as well. And so, it's a lot of responsibility, but, Joe's been a big scorer at every level. And, he's really taking responsibility to be really good defensively as well. We've heard really good things about his growth in those areas. And then, you look at last night, it's one game, but I thought he did a really good job of being in good positions, supporting the puck, back checking, all that kind of stuff that leads to being a good two-way player. And, I think if you're going to win in this league, you need a lot of guys that are able to do that. And, I think our young guys are really growing, and that's a good thing for us going forward.
Thanks, Sam.
Next up, Ted Colfin, Detroit News.
Hey, Sam, kind of like a flip side to Max's question. Why do you think, considering the people that you've had in the lineup this season, why has offense been such a problem at times this year, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think the power play is a part of it. If normally when your power play is going, it helps you generate a little offense 5-on-5 as well. Just helps you feel better with the puck. But, I think we've had a lot of growth defensively, which, like I said, it's really important. You need to be a good defensive team if you're gonna win in this league. Obviously, like I said, everyone talks about two-way players, and the offense is a huge part of that. So we have to continue to build that. I think we've had a lot of talk about how to generate, whether it be through the neutral zone or creating chances by sustaining offense in the O zone. It's areas that we want to continue to improve upon. And I think, like you said, we've had some of our better offensive players, miss games, and that always hurts things. But I think you look at last night, we don't score a goal, but we had a lot of chances and generated some offense, and got to find ways to break through there. But like I said, defensively, I've really liked our growth, and we want to continue to grow in that area and build upon some other things too.
And when you look in the future, when you look back to this season, what's going to stand out? Just the fact that you guys were somehow able to, not just the Wings, but the whole league. You guys were able to finish this season somehow, some way, or, when you look back, what's going to stand out about this season? It's been so different in so many ways, it seems like.
Yeah. There's been a lot of people behind the scenes that have really had to do a really good job for us to be able to play. And I think as players, we feel very fortunate that we're able to do what we love to do. Obviously, there's a lot of situations out there where, people have had to sacrifice, what they love to do, and we're still able to do it, obviously in some different circumstances, and guys have had to, really adhere to protocols and different things like that. And it's made it stressful at times, but at the end of the day, we're playing hockey, and, we've enjoyed that part of it. So I think obviously looking back on it, this year's different than any other year. I've always felt that kind of every year brings its different challenges, no matter how you prepare for them. But, this year has certainly been special in that regard, and a year we'll probably remember for a long time.
You got that ready. Thanks for this, Sam. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Next question. We'll go back to Max Boltman with The Athletic for our last question.
Yeah, Sam, you mentioned the defensive improvements. I was just curious, are they related at all with the lack of offense? Like, is there a trade-off happening in your mind that you see? I guess at 5-on-5, it wouldn't relate to the power play, but.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, I think a lot of times offense stems from being good defensively, but I think you also have to look for opportunities to create offense by, gaining the offensive blue line with control as opposed to dumping it in and risking a turnover. And, those are areas where we have to continue to grow and understand the risk reward and having poise with the puck, being able to make plays under pressure, understand the situation in games. But like I said, it's a hard thing to do to have a group come together and really buckle down defensively and find ways to limit your chances against. And I like the growth in that area from our group. And, the next step for us is like you said, is finding ways to generate offense, both on the power play and at 5-on-5. And, part of that's personnel. And, we've had some guys that are big scorers miss some time and that you hate to make excuses, but that certainly does hurt things. But yeah, I think last part of the season here and then going in the summer, it's something we want to continue to build at and get better at and find ways to grow our offensive games.
Last one. What did it mean to you to wear the A on your sweater the other night?
Yeah, no, it means a lot. I mean, it's a storied franchise, and some of the guys before me that have had the opportunity to wear a letter on their jersey. The list is pretty incredible, but obviously with the guys that we have out and the injuries, and they mean a lot to our group. And the fact that I'm looked at in kind of that light as a leader among the group is certainly a responsibility I don't take lightly. But yeah, it's certainly a good feeling, and there's a lot of deserving guys in the room for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. We'll be back shortly with Coach Blashill.